Welcome to the monthly updates on MTBC's products and services. My name is Praveen Kanda. I am the VP of Intellectual Property and Innovation for MTBC, so I help MTBC with developing their products and services as well as patent their intellectual property rights in either ideas or software services. This is the month of August, and this will be a monthly webinar, so I expect to see many providers back to listen to the next month's update in September 2013. Now let's jump right in and talk about MTBC's WebEHR. For those of you who don't know, our WebEHR is our latest product that runs a EHR completely on the web using either Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome. We've had quite a few updates on MTBC's WebEHR. To begin, let's go on to the next slide and I can show you a few of the changes. First, our first change that we've implemented on the WebEHR is multiple breaks available on your scheduler. To create multiple breaks on your scheduler, let's go to a demo account. As you can see here, let's go to the welcome screen here. Once you are in the welcome screen, you can access the scheduler by simply going to the scheduler up on the upper portion of your web page and clicking on appointments. Once you go to the scheduler and click on appointments, you should see today's scheduler. My scheduler will not show anything because this is a test account, and hopefully your scheduler will show all your patients that you're seeing today. Now, to add a break on this scheduler, all you need to do is simply go over the time and click on Add Break. Once you click on the Add Break, you can see the time from and the time to. Simply select the end time that you would like to add the multiple breaks for and click on Save. This will add multiple breaks from that start time to that end time. As you can see here, the colorization of the breaks is slightly gray colored, and hence you will know when your appointment times are available by the white color and then the slightly brownish gray color that you see here. Now, to remove the break, simply go over the time and click Remove Break. When you click on Remove Break, you see here that it removed the set of breaks. Currently, we're in process of improving this module to remove individual breaks, so you can pick and choose exactly what breaks you would want to remove rather than remove the whole set of breaks that you have just implemented. The next feature I would like to inform all of our providers is the referral feature that we've added into the WebEHR. This referral feature was created with a lot of the providers' suggestions in mind to improve our referral portion of the older MTBC EHR products. So let's jump right in and show you how the new referral module will work on the WebEHR. Let us go to the test account again as seen here. Once you're in the test account, find a patient you would like to put in a referral for by clicking on Patient Search and then finding the patient from your most recent patients or even searching the patient. In this case, I will simply go to the personal of Mr. Praveen Kanda and click on the referral portion under his patient tabs. Once you're in the referral portion, here you can see the amount of valid referrals. To add a referral, simply click on the plus icon, select the authorization code, test referral, find a referring physician by clicking on the plus. Searching the physician in my state will give you a list of physicians within your state, and you can go further by searching just the last name. Once you find the last name, you can find the physician by the address and the phone number, and just click on the physician to select the physician. The next step is to put in the referral start date. Click on the calendar as seen here and pick the referral start date. Then select the amount of allowed visits and also put in the referral expiration date if it has one. Finally, you are allowed to pick a specific provider if you would like that referral to apply to that specific provider, or a group NPI if the referral applies to any provider within the practice. For this case, I'm going to pick David Jones. Once you pick David Jones, you've made sure this incoming referral has been put in. You can also put in comments if you have further comments about this referral. Finally, when you've completed all these tasks, simply click Save to add that referral. Another thing you should know on this screen is you can see your valid referrals by the color of the referral. If it shows up in green, that is a valid referral. If it shows up in red, that is an invalid referral. Furthermore, you can see the amount of referrals right on top next to the referral portion where it shows the number 3. That tells me that this patient has 3 valid referrals. Now, why don't we go back into the scheduler and see how exactly the front office staff has to use these referrals. In order for the front office staff to use these referrals, they'll go back to the daily scheduler. In this case, they'll add an appointment. Once they find the patient they want to add an appointment for, they'll search that patient. Once they search that patient, as you can see here, the referral tab is highlighted in green. This means there is a valid referral for this patient. Simply by clicking on the down arrow, they can see the valid referrals for this patient. This one is from Alfred and Jeffrey and surgery, and this is the group NPI number 123. These are 2 separate valid referrals. In addition, what you can also do is change the provider to another provider. This will also change the referral tab. Here you can see Manoj Haq referred for this provider, and also the group NPI referral is also valid. Finally, if you select a provider that doesn't have a valid referral, then you'll only see the group NPI number that applies to this referral. Once that is complete, all you'd have to do is simply click Save and Close to apply that referral amount to that referral. That will automatically count against the referral, and you will see that on your scheduler. Once the appointment is validly in your scheduler, then you can go on to scheduling your next patient. Another feature that was requested by a few of our providers in specialty practices were reoccurring appointments. This feature will allow you to schedule one patient for reoccurring appointments either on a weekly, monthly, or yearly schedule. So let's go ahead and show you how to create that with the WebEHR scheduler. Let's go back to the test account here. Click on Add Appointment. Add the appointment to the patient initially. Once you've added this appointment, you can change this appointment to a reoccurring appointment by simply going over the tab and clicking Recursive Appointment. This method will allow you to change this initial appointment into either a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly appointment. You can make it a weekly appointment that occurs every Monday and Friday, and it'll end after 3 occurrences, which means that this patient will show up at 9 o'clock every Monday and Friday after 3 times that it shows up on the scheduler. So once you're done, simply click on OK. This will show you the list of appointments that will be created in our system. If you are OK with this, then simply click Save. If not, you can also remove the appointment by unclicking one of the check marks shown here. Once you've done this, by going to the scheduler, you can see exactly how this is implemented. Now, in addition, you're also allowed to remove reoccurring appointments. To delete reoccurring appointments, simply go over the patient and click Delete Recurring Appointments. This will show you all the appointments that is applicable for this patient, And to delete, simply just make sure all the check marks are selected and click on delete. This will delete all the recursive appointments or reoccurring appointments for your patient. Once you're done, simply click close and you've deleted that appointment. The next feature I'd like to talk to you about is the recall feature, which allows you to set patients for a recall where your front desk would recall during either a certain month or a certain week. Now, this feature is also utilized for specialty practices, I believe, that would like to schedule their patients a few months in advance and would have to recall the patient to make sure that they can schedule that patient. This feature can be also used in multiple other creative ways that will assist your practice if you know the functionality of this feature. Okay, let's begin again by showing you where the recall feature is within MTBC's WebEHR. Going back into the test account, let's search for a patient. Once you've found your patient, click on Personal. The recall feature is within the demographics portion of the patient. As you can see, right under address and contract details, you see a recall amount. To add a recall, simply click on the plus button. This will add a recall where you have to select the provider, the location, and also how long you want the recall for. In this instance, I've suggested that I want the recall 1 month from today. The date will default to today, and you have selected that you want it 1 month from today, so that would make the recall date 9/28/2013. You can also add notes if you'd like to add notes, and even pick a visit reason that will apply for this patient. Finally, when you're done, make sure you click on the Save button to save that recall. Below, you can see the details of your recall. To see who created it, simply go to the I button. You can see who created the recall and when it was created. In addition, you can modify the recall by clicking on the Edit button, and delete the recall by clicking on the Delete button. Once you are done, simply close this feature. Once you close, we recommend you to press F5 or refresh your screen. Once you press F5 or refresh your screen, you will see that the recall status now is updated with 9/28 as the first recall, and that this patient has 1 recall available. Now that you've put a recall date in, how do I generate a report at the start of the month that suggests that this is all the set of recall patients I have for the month? This is very simple within the WebEHR. Simply click on the reporting on the top portion of your WebEHR and click on Recall Report. This is a module we have created to generate a report regarding your recalls. Select your dates from and to for your recall. If it's the month of September, make sure you select the start of September and the end of September. Then click Search. This will show you all the recalls you have, and you can even print out this report and have your front office staff call each of these patients and verify this report, or verify their appointment. Another required feature from the desktop or prior MTBC EHRs that we needed to convert into the WebEHR is the transcription module. Currently, this transcription module is only available in patient level, which means you can see the transcriptions for each patient by going under the patient's file. Now, to begin, let me show you where this transcription is. To access the transcriptions for a patient, simply search the patient, find a patient that has transcriptions, and click on Transcriptions. This will pop up a transcription portion where you can see the patient's transcription as seen here. On the left-hand side, you can see what the visit date is. On the right-hand side, you can see your transcription. And finally, you can see whether this transcription has been reviewed and signed off on by a provider. Another crucial section that we have implemented in the WebEHR is PQRS reporting. For those of you who don't know, PQRS reporting applies to Medicare patients, and it is a CMS requirement to report at least 3 measures out of the 138 measures that you can choose to report for your Medicare payments. In order to find out more regarding PQRS reporting, I recommend you contact MTBC's tech support, and they will guide you towards the right person to talk to find out more details regarding PQRS reporting. For the purposes of this webinar, we'll be using PQRS reporting in 2 ways. First, we'll show you how to do PQRS reporting using a e-claim or electronic claim, and secondly, we'll show you how to do PQRS reporting from your scheduler by just printing out a form and filling it out after your super bill. So let us begin now by showing you how to do PQRS reporting in your e-claim. Go to a provider here. Log in. So once you are on your home page, you can find a patient by simply clicking WebEHR and then clicking Patient Search. Once you click on Patient Search, you can find the relevant patient by either seeing if the patient's in the past or searching his last name, which I'll do here, and I'm only going to type in 4 letters, and there you see my name. Now we're going to create a new claim for this patient that we want to do PQRS reporting for. When you create a new claim, you can add a diagnosis by clicking Add Modify Diagnoses and selecting Diagnoses. Here I will select Unspecified Essential Hypertension, and likewise I will also select a office code of 99213. Now once you've done both the ICD and CPT selection, if you click on PQRS, it will use the data you've just inputted to give you results about a PQRS form. As you can see, there's a green highlighted section which tells you that PQRS 236 can be reported on for this patient. Now in order to verify whether this PQRS applies, 3 questions are asked which are automatically filled out as you see here. Step 1 is a patient through 18 and 85, has a diagnosis of hypertension. There is a CPT code and an HCPCS code for the visit. Since all of these 3 are yes, this will automatically turn green. Now it is up to the provider to select yes or no for the next section to get the appropriate code. Another feature that MTBC is thinking about implementing is, since many of these results sometimes have to do with items that you have to input into the EHR itself in the vital section, we will automatically populate that over here, and hence you would report it automatically. As you can see here, any section that doesn't apply for PQRS reporting will be shown in red, and you will not be able to select any of the sections. Once you're done selecting your appropriate PQRS codes, to apply, all you need to do is simply click Apply, and you will apply those set of codes for PQRS. When you're done with your PQRS codes and your office CPT codes, simply click Send, and you've now sent the PQRS codes for this specific claim. Now that was for e-claims. Now let's see a practice that does it slightly a different way, since they do all their claims via paper. MTBC would like to help both providers that want to use our EHR and are really into using e-claims, as well as providers that like staying some amount on paper by doing super bills on paper and scanning it over to us. For a provider that likes to scan over super bills to us, we allow that provider to print out a PQRS sheet. In order to print out a PQRS sheet, go into your daily schedule, select the patient, and click Print. Once you click Print Forms and Bills, and then click Print PQRS. When you click the Print button here, another window should open giving you details of the PQRS items you can fill. One reason this other type of method is typically a little more cumbersome is because you would have to actually select the initial 3 codes, whether you've actually used the hypertension code or the other codes mentioned in the electronic form. Second reason is you also have to read every question and answer to make sure if it applies or not, and select yes or no through the sheet, unlike the electronic claims which automatically select certain items in the PQRS. If your practice is currently not reporting PQRS and you are currently doing billing with MTBC, please be encouraged to call MTBC tech support and start on PQRS reporting immediately. The deadline is the end of this year, and I would like to see as many providers submitting PQRS forms for their Medicare patients only by the end of this year, so they will not get penalized for the start of next year. The final major change that MTBC has implemented within the WebEHR is faxing with MetroFax. For those of you who don't know MetroFax, MetroFax is a vendor that actually allows you to send e-faxes through their website. I'm going to currently show you how to set up your MetroFax with MTBC and also tell you the steps to follow up to make sure you are properly able to send faxes. Now, to begin, let us go to the EHR settings where you'll first set up your MetroFax account. To go to WebEHR settings, simply click on WebEHR and then go to the icon displayed right beneath the WebEHR that looks like a nut. Click on this nut and click on EHR settings. In this portion of the WebEHR settings, you can see all the multitude of settings that you can change within the WebEHR. The item that we are concerned with will be the fax settings. When you're in fax settings, you can set your fax credentials here. Your fax credentials are a few items as listed as follows. Fax number, the number that you'll be faxing with, the username, password, and and finally to confirm the password again. Once you have saved these details, I highly encourage you to send either a secure support center message to the MTBC WebEHR alias, or simply call tech support to verify whether this MetroFax account has been accessed. Now, for those providers that want to know more about MetroFax, I recommend you simply type in MetroFax in Google and get more details regarding MetroFax. It will typically be the first link in Google, so if you can click that, you'll find more details about MetroFax and how much they charge for sending faxes for your practice. Now, the final changes in MTBC WebEHR are minor fixes and glitch corrections. We've also changed a few things with the template colors that needed to be changed to assist providers to view the templates. MTBC's WebEHR team or IT support team has been working around the clock to make sure the provider's issues as well as glitches within the system have been rectified. In order for us to be notified of the issues, it has to be brought up by the provider when they first notice it. As I've told providers in the past, typically when one provider brings up the issue, it fixes it for all the providers down the line. So if you notice an issue, please feel free to contact tech support or phone me, and I'll give you my number at the end of the presentation, and we will try to get that issue addressed promptly. Now, the next section I would also like to talk about future releases on the WebEHR. As many of you know, we do have a scan and attach feature which is prevalent in the older EHR, which will also be implemented in the new EHR. Currently, we're on the final stages of testing this feature, and we're actually using it on a few providers to test out the feature to make sure nothing's going wrong. If you would like to be one of the parties interested in testing out this feature, please feel free to contact me, and I will provide my details at the end of this presentation or webinar, and you can give me your contact number and I'll make sure the team enables it for your account as well. There are a few more modules that were currently in development. One is the Pediatric module as well as the Rheumatology module. Finally, currently our biggest two projects are probably Meaningful Use Stage 2 certification as well as ICD-10 implementation in the WebEHR. For those providers using an older EHR program, you must know that both these certifications will only apply to the WebEHR, which is why we recommend all providers to switch from our older EHR systems to the MTBC WebEHR. Finally, we also have a few other improvements on other products, one being the PHR's automatic check-in with GPS functionality. This functionality will only apply to any patients that download the PHR app. As soon as they walk into your office, they are allowed to check in automatically using their phone, and they can simply go through the processes of the phone and check in with their phone. In addition, we've fixed a few PHR bugs that we've seen with flickering and GUI issues on both the Android platform and the iPhone platform. In addition, we also are currently designing a multiple PHR patient setup. This applies to all the pediatric practices that have one user account, which is typically their email password, and want to access multiple patients. What I mean by this is that each patient currently in our system has to have a unique email and a unique password. Hopefully in the future we can have one patient have a unique username and a unique password, but he will have access to other accounts within the same system. Finally, we fixed some bugs within the IRX app or the e-prescription app, and we are also currently working and testing the MTBC Scribe app, which allows providers to dictate using their cell phones and transfer that dictation right to MTBC rather than use an actual recorder and move the files over to MTBC. Thank you for attending this webinar. If you have any additional questions, feel free to contact our customer support at extension 102. You can also contact me or our IT team using secure support messages for any current MTBC users, as well as forum posts. Finally, for new users that want to see more on the WebEHR, please feel free to call in and request a online demo at extension 101, and our IT team will support you and show you the benefits of using the WebEHR. Finally, my name and my contact details right here. I would recommend you call me at work at extension 134. However, if it is an emergency and needs to be dealt in immediately, I've also provided my cell phone number, as you see here, and you can always send me an email if any issue arises that you feel is not being handled properly. Thank you for your time in attending this webinar. I hope all of providers have learned a lot of useful information using the MTBC's WebEHR, and I hope that you guys will send us more questions and more features to implement in the future. Thank you.